Hello and welcome to the Delta Analysis episode. Today is Delta Golem, but before I go into anything, uh, I've been feeling like hell, and I'll probably won't be able to do this daily because that's not good for my own health. So I'll do it when I feel like doing it, but I probably won't be doing it daily for a bit. Yeah, I'm just too stressed because I'm doing too many things. Um, so yeah, with that out of the way, Delta Golem is a psychic and rock type, which is the same as Lunatone and Solrock. It has many weaknesses. It has a lot of weaknesses. Let's look at what is weakness. Uh, it is weak to ground, bug, ghost, steel, water, grass, and dark. It has 7 weaknesses, which is really bad. And it's especially bad if they are special moves, because it only has 65 staff, 80 HP is pretty good, but 65 staff is not that great. It does have 130 defense, 120 attack, so physically it is very good, and specially it's really not that good. 55 special attack and 65 special defense, and it's also pretty slow at 45 speed, but actually that is not necessarily a bad thing for Delta Golem. Looking at its abilities are actually wild. This is the reason why this thing is incredibly interesting, but I'm not sure how I feel about it, because it can only have one of them, and all 3 of them are insanely good, but it can only have one of them. And I don't know, Golem makes me feel. Golem is just awkward, in my opinion, but okay. Looking at its abilities, it gets Regenerator, which is an insanely good ability. Heals 30% of your health upon switching out. It's Sap Sipper, which is insanely good. Makes you immune to grass, which is one of your 7 weaknesses. Although, even considering you have 7 weaknesses, grass Pokemon often get ground coverage, and that's still super effective. So, Sap Sipper is probably the worst of the 3, but regardless, Magic Bounce is also insanely good, because you can switch in on any status move like Toxic, Will-O-Wisp, Stealth Rocks, Taunt, uh, what else? What else could it? Thunder Wave, Spikes, Toxic Spikes. You can bounce pretty much anything back, and yeah, that's also an insanely good ability. Because it's just really annoying if you are like, you have a rocker on your team and you see the golem and you don't know what its ability is, you have to consider it coming in with magic bounce if you're gonna click rocks. So like, it has that presence in the battle that's why magic bounce is good, but that's one of the reasons magic bounce is good, but it's also just great because it does what it does. Not just because it's there, it's scary, it's just actually really annoying to deal with. Um, so yeah, the first, wait, no, not first set. First relevant moves it gets Calm Mind for setup. Its special sets are awful. If you really want to boost your special defense, go for it. I don't think it's not awful. Like, you can boost your special defense and like do fine with. This thing might get Iron Defense. I'm not sure if this thing is Iron Defense, but you can boost your special defense, but especially offensively, you're not doing that anything really. I didn't even include a special set because it has 55 special attacks. Not really, not even relevant really. Rock Polish, if you want to double your base 45 speed, which honestly, with investment at kind of fast, um, get screen support, which is honestly pretty good, because if things use defog against you to remove the screens, you magic bounce it. If you have magic bounce, obviously, you magic bounce it back and your screens stay, but hazards are gone, but your screens stay. So that's honestly pretty nice, unless they are attorneys incarnate with Defiant, in which case you're kind of screwed if it's physical. But you're physically defensive, you're fine. Um, I think. It gets Trick Room, which is really good. It's actually one of the better. It's its best offensive set in my opinion. Because clicks Trick Room, it's already really slow. Just go min speed. underspeed everything, and then you click buttons because you do have 120 physical attack, which is pretty strong. Stealth Rock is a really good support move. Hazards, Thunder Wave to cripple things, Trick to mess with things, items. Although I don't think this is a great trick. Like honestly, this is a good trick. Iron Ball or something. Trick Lagging Tail because you're already slow. Who cares about your being slower than everything? So that's definitely an option. And knockoff if for removing items. It's pretty good. Hits like the ghost and ghost types too that are annoying to deal with. So yeah, that's like relevant moves. The first set is a support set, which is basically just supposed to get rocks. As ability, I put any of them. It really just depends on what you're looking for. Because if your opponent has like hazard stack, say your opponent has like a, say your opponent has the Delta Greninja, and you're in. Wait, no, that's a really bad example. You can't, like that's what I talk about. You can't have Step Super and Magic Bounce. You have to pick one of the two, or one of the three. Really, Regenerator is also insanely good. But sometimes you just want Magic Bounce. Sometimes you want Regenerator because you want to come in more often, multiple times. Sometimes you want Step Super because as your Grass type you really struggle to deal with. So yeah, this thing is. Like abilities, you can literally pick anything. There is not really a bad decision, which makes it really hard to pick one of them. Well, Step Zipper can be a bad decision. Stealth Rock for hazards, knockoff to remove items. I think those are the most relevant support options you get. And then just moves. Zen Headbutt, Stone Edge are the best stab options in my opinion. Can run screens with Light Clay. Ice Punch is good. Ice Punch, Earthquake are good coverage options. Thunder Wave for crippling things. And then offensive moves, soon TM. In the next set, I'll cover like literally every relevant physical move. Special moves are not really relevant. But yeah, the next set has like the offensive set that all physical moves it even cares about. But yeah, this thing just gets up rocks, and with your Magic Bounce, you prevent hazards, you prevent things. You can't get taunted. Like it honestly, it's a really reliable rocker. But Regenerator is also really good, and yeah. So this thing gets up rocks. That's what it does, and that does it very well. And yeah, that's just basically the idea of the support set. Gets up rocks, and you could run Explosion on this, like get up rocks, click Explosion, get out of there. But honestly, Explosion works a lot better on the next set, which is a Trick Room set. But again, any ability really. I don't like Regenerator is fine if you want to get up Trick Room multiple times, but I don't like. Okay, it's a valid strategy. Like it's a Trick Room setup with like passive recovery. Like it's really good. And also it has. I'll get to that later. You can run a Magic Guard to not get taunted. Magic Bounce, not Magic Guard. Magic Bounce is probably the worst ability here. Step Zipper, if you like want to set up Trick Room against the Grass type, it's relevant. I think Regenerator is the best ability on Trick Room. And like you run Trick Room obviously, and you just run moves. Stone Edge and Headbutt, Rock Slide are like stab options. Stone Edge is harder than Rock Slide, but it's more likely to miss. Earthquake and Ice Punch are good offensive options because they cover a rock and they cover ground covers rock very well, and ice covers ground very well. Like it just functions. Like they're just good offensive typings. Explosion I really like on this set because you can run Trick Room, go in yourself, switch out, get a Trick Room again, and then just boom. Or like boom instantly, or boom whenever you want. You can also run like Stealth Rocks on this if you want like more run it as a supportive Trick Room, and like Stealth Rocks, Trick Room, Stone Edge, boom. You can like I really like boom on Trick Room because it's literally a free switch into your Trick Room sweepers. Like if you have a Mega Camerat or Conkeldurr or whatever, Melmetal, you can get those in pretty safely with an Explosion. Knockoff for removal, items. Also, it helps with ghost types, Gyro Ball, and Iron Head help with fairies, and yeah, that's really it. Fairies. Ice types too, but you've enough for ice types, and rock types die earthquake. The Gyro Ball is actually a very strong move in Trick Room because you're so slow. Drain Punch superpower. Drain Punch is recovery superpower. It does more damage, but it does lower your stats. But honestly, you can definitely deal with lowering the stats because you can just switch out, get regenerator, and come back in. So that's honestly not the biggest deal. Thunder Punch helps with water types, Fire Punch helps with grass types, and bug types. Yeah, it's just general offensive moves. So yeah, I really like the Trick Room set, like Trick Room, Stone Edge, Explosion, Stealth Rocks, or Zen Headbutt, or whatever you want to run. But yeah, that's pretty much Delta Golem. It has 3 good abilities. It's physically very strong, but especially frail. Has many weaknesses. Okay, dog just came in. Has many weaknesses. You can like, weakness policy Trick Room if you really want to. Like, it definitely has that option because it's like weak to literally everything. So it definitely has a bunch of options, and it's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool Pokemon, and honestly, it's pretty scary too. But yeah, that's it for today. See y'all when I feel like recording again. Goodbye.